Tyker, how are you, ma'am?
I'm good.
This pre-conversation, we have a lot in common, man.
Yeah.
I have to say that usually I had notes to start off. You're the first guest that come with notes too. I'm very nervous. Tyker had and she turns to the blank page just before we start to her, so I'm very, very nervous. But Tyker, we had an opportunity when we first spoke to come to your production.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to start there.
Okay, no problem.
Poison.
Yeah.
Let me, before I talk about my experience there,
Mm-hmm.
what was the genesis of it? How you came up with the idea? What started it?
What started Poison? So last year, 2024, I did a writing workshop with award-winning playwright Eric Barry.
Yeah.
I've known Eric for a very long time, and I feel like there's the opportunity for Eric to kind of show off himself.
Right.
And so my friend Rena Christian and I pressure him to do a writing workshop. Gaps him like, Eric, you have to do a workshop. And he did.
Right.
And it was 5 of us.
Mm-hmm.
And we went through 8 sessions with him over a period of like 3 or 4 months. And one of the homework exercises initially was to write a piece of prose, a page and a half, write a story. Mm-hmm. It took me, I wrote it the day before. Yeah. The day before it was due, because I'm a horrible student. I submitted it.
That's the best students. What other time it's off than the day before?
Yeah, boy, because it's crunch now, so you had to get it done.
Of course. That's when the juices flow.
I hate that about myself. And so I presented it in class, and he was like, okay, great. Rena presented his, other classmates, Okay. And at the end of the session, he said, okay, homework for the next day. Mm-hmm. Write a script based on your story. And I was like, oh, gum, Eric. No gum. So I did. I went away and I wrote this piece, which was actually based on a piece of music that I featured in the prose, which is Dexter Dapp's Breaking News. Because I absolutely love that song. It's so great. Mm-hmm. But I envisioned that this young lady was in a vehicle and she heard the chorus of that song, which goes, stop fight with him, make him fight for you, like Tyson. Right. You're too nice for him. The boy love him belly, just poison him. That's the lyric. Mm-hmm. And in the back, the girls who sing the chorus go, poison.
Yeah. So sweet, huh?
So sweet. And I love it. I love it.
Wait, let me be clear. You like the poisoning part or the harmonizing?
I like the song. I like the lyrics. I like the theme that we go in with. Right, yes, right. Okay. Let's go. Mm-hmm. But I also really like that they took this song that's so violent and made it so sweet.
I'll tell you, I didn't know what the song was about till I came by you.
Yeah.
You know, you're kind of singing along with it and you're breaking news. I ain't really paying attention to it.
The reporters are there because he gone. So I named the piece Poison based on that piece of music. But then it evolved into the poisonous relationship between the two characters, Chia and Dee. The poisonous environment that they've been a part of this society that is Trinidad and Tobago. And so to explore that through these characters was where I was at. So it is character-led, but it's also specifically about this event of wanting to kill this man who has harmed Chia. What does that look like? What is justice for her? What does it look like for Dee, who is a creature of the underworld, as I described him initially? Why would we take this step to do this thing? Yeah. And in sitting with these characters and working it through and being like, oh gosh, just think due in the next 2 weeks for Eric. I'm like, what are my experiences with situations like this, with men like this, with my own self and my own stories, and what would I have liked to have happened when I was in a situation where I felt like, I need some justice here.
Of course,
I need some vindication for having experienced abuse.
Right.
And so Poison was born, and then we read it after the course was finished. Eric gave beautiful notes. He gave great feedback. And so it's very different from what it was initially.
Gotcha.
Presented it. I had Tafar read for Chia, and I had one of our students, because she and I have taught for over 10 years together, one of our students read the role of Dee.
So when you're presenting it, Well, so you had to do a story, then you had to make it into a script.
Yes.
In the presentation, just for that workshop, you have to act it out or do the actual reading?
So, yes.
Oh, I see.
Eric's thing was we need to hear the work.
I see.
So, as writers...
So it's not on paper, got it.
It's not just... You write a script, okay, cool, it's done. No, now we need to hear our work. So between myself and Eric and Rena, we gathered up some actors who we know from in the space, and we're like, right, come and read our work. And so there were 4 scripts, and they were read.
I see.
And out of it, I was like, okay, well, I heard it. So
yeah.
I'm like, okay.
That's
I'm looking to go and put it back on the shelf. And the bully that is my friend Rena Christian, I mean, we take turns bullying each other. She's like, so when you're doing poison? Because it read to her like a film.
Right.
So she was like, so we have to make this in a movie. Right, let's get fun. Let's do this. I was like, Rena, take a deep breath. Sent it to my friend Gabby in New York. She sent me some nice, beautiful notes. I sent it to my friend Shaq. Like, he was like, me know if I want to read this, you just send me thing and then don't do it.
Yeah.
Because I am a chronic hoarder of my work.
Yeah.
So for me to have written Poison last year and then premiere Poison this year is a big deal for me.
You're serious?
Because most of my stuff is on shelves or external hard drives or any people on them.
Well, that tells me we have plenty more to see, so that's good.
Yes, I have thing to see, thing to read, thing to engage with.
Right.
So she was like, right. And then I have the opportunity now with my cultural group to go to Montreal.
Right.
How I get any money, way? And she was like, well, you have a play. So
that's his friend to have.
What we gonna do? Use that as your fundraiser. And so I was like, all right, okay. Begrudgingly, I'll share my work with you all. And so yeah, I decided, all right, cool. And Tafar had told me, she said, when you're doing this play, I have to be in it.
All right.
I was like, all right, cool. Person who read for D initially was too young, based on his storytelling. I was like, one man to get to match Tafar.
Right.
There must be an equal yoking happening. Who's the best male actor in Trinidad?
Oh my God.
And so Nikolai Salcedo enters the chat.
Right.
And I reach out to him before Carnival because he's a mass man as well. I say, hi, Nikolai, this is Tyker Phillip. Real nervous, huh? I reached out to him. He was like, yeah, sure, no problem.
So you had no relationship before? You just reach out to him?
No. I know Nikolai since I'm 13.
Okay, got it.
I know Tafar since I'm 16.
Okay.
Tafar and I are best friends.
I see.
Nikolai and I, so I know Nikolai's 11 years my senior. So we would have met when I was 13 and then worked together in my early 20s. But this would be my first time as his director.
Got it.
And producer. So it's a whole different dynamic.
I understand.
So now I have to come down and like, Nikolai, am I worthy? Message him. And he was like, yeah. I was like, after Carnival, let's meet. And about 2 weeks after Carnival, I gave him the script and he was like, well, yeah. And that same thing we were talking about earlier, because it's you.
Yeah. So you're getting plenty of that.
Yeah, I do get a lot of that, and I don't know why.
Speaks volumes.
I guess so. I guess it speaks volumes of me, my personality, my work ethic. He was like, yeah, when you want to do it? And I was like, I'm thinking about maybe May. And he was like, okay, cool. He asked me all the details, where we rehearsing, and he was from jump. He was like, I'm on.
Right.
I'm coming. And he's like, right. So who playing opposite me? And I was like, Tafar, Chia. And he was like, oh, I've never worked with Tafar before. Let's do it.
Right.
So Poison was born. And yeah, and now it's in the world.
The response was good. How you felt about the response to it? Well, first, let me talk about the response in terms of it sold out all the 3 nights.
The Friday night was a little tricky, but I realized, not just me, for other producers in the space who produced work in June of this year, Friday was a weird day for us all. Yeah. And I'm wondering if it's just people don't want to go to the theater on a Friday.
People tired from work, maybe, I suppose.
Maybe.
Yeah, I guess.
And they just want to really fully enjoy going to the theater.
Of course.
So Friday was kind of weirdy. But Saturday people were standing up. Sunday people were standing up.
Yeah.
Which I was like, okay, I don't know if it's me or if it's a combo of me, Tafar and Sal, or if it's just them and people just want to see them together for the first time. But I think it was a combo. People's responses were really nice. A colleague said to me this week, It was refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody also said to me, I haven't seen this kind of theater in a long time, or I've never witnessed this type of theater. My work is very I consider it micro theater because I don't have no intention of going to a 400-seat theater.
No.
Like Queen's Hall is not the space for my work.
Serious?
It really isn't. I like to be in your face, intimate.
Listen.
Down in your throat.
Maybe a good time to talk about my experience. Yes, let's start by talking about Tyker and time, right? Starting with today. I got walking here today, close to time. It's like, I'm good as Conrad, how are you going? And I was like, hi. Tyker here on time. Well on time. And a reputation for that too.
Yeah.
And I saw your post a few days before that you have a production manager where 8 o'clock is 8 o'clock. You show how to start 8. So when I walk in the place, it's like, hey, go and sit down fast. Lights coming off now. You know, I went to the wrong place.
Ah, okay.
My brain is working funny ways, you know. So I pull up at a place on Murray Street. What was the name? There's a production space at the bottom of Murray Street, just before Arapita Avenue. I think it's somewhere that Tree Canal does some stuff.
Big black box?
Yes. Because I am completely, let me tell you about my my theater illiteracy, right? I hear play is Big Black. I just come to it immediately.
Oh, I love that for Wendell and Roger. And Stanton. Love it.
I sit down outside killing time. I say, nice, I would think I'll go in about
killing
5.
Time.
Yeah. About 5 minutes before I go running, bam. And I find like nobody open the gates. I say, but how you lock up tight so?
Yeah.
And then I realize I'm in the wrong spot. So when you see me coming, there's hustle and all coming from
and then you have to find a park.
Yeah, no.
Because it's Supriani Boulevard.
Yeah, the park
and
quite
it's
on Saturday nights. Yeah, Saturday night.
Yeah.
But again, I don't even know what is a dramatic reading.
Okay.
So when I hear dramatic reading, I don't know what to expect, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I come up in this space and now the space tight. I was like, all right, I can't really hide here. And you know, when they come late, Trinities leave all the seat right in front for you too. So I sit down, and when you say intimate and up close and personal, I think it's something that people need to experience themselves because the theme of the play, of course, because it's domestic violence it's rooted in domestic violence, but then, as you say, some kind of justice, revenge, whatever you want to put it as, is already an intense topic. And this nuance, this is tricky. And the fact that you say no in the middle of this is moving. I found it to be very, very intense. Like, I can't sit uncomfortable. I was like, what is going on here? Yeah. At one point, Nikolai signed up right next to me. Right. And I was like, this is a lot. So that's deliberate for you.
That is deliberate.
That's what you want.
I want that.
Yeah.
I want my audiences to feel like they are in the living room with these characters. They feel uncomfortable to be witnessing this thing. Am I supposed to be here right now? I feel like, whoa, I need to leave, but I can't because my leg's not going to cooperate, or also because I'm afraid to breathe. And the audience member told me I wasn't sure if to exhale because I felt like we were so close.
Yeah.
That's the type of work I love to produce because we are very separate from theater in that we go to a show to be entertained. We go to escape. There's no escape when you're dealing with me.
Yeah.
You're coming to the theater to be moved, to make some changes in your life, it must evoke something in you. Because there's all different types of theater. There's gospel theater, there's lovely people doing Shakespeare for youth, for adults. There's I use theater down south who did Sundari same weekend as me, so that's musical theater. Roland Cambule doing Sparrow 10 to 1. So there's work with that. There's Richard and Penny and Cecilia, and I'm doing comedy. There's space for that. There's also space for my work. My audience is my audience. I don't want a 500-seat theater because you're going to lose the nuance, as you said, of the storytelling. You're going to miss something because you're so far removed from it. You are an observer in the work, and your role and responsibility here as an audience member is to see it, engage with it. All right, okay, cool. Now, where do I go from here now? What is my responsibility now? All right, okay. So when I did my work Mansplain in 2019, which is a play about all men and men's experiences as, experiencing manhood in Trinidad, it was as intimate as this. People call me out and say, Gail, I talked to my father for 3 hours the day after your show because I just wanted to know if my dad had experienced any of these things.
Mm-hmm.
That's
what you want.
And I think because my work is also very spiritual and very ancestrally based, like I don't need to make all you laugh. Right. If you want to laugh, you could go somewhere else.
Yeah, of course.
And experience that and engage with those types of work. But then you come and you sit in a show like Poison. It's like, I want you to, as an audience member, grapple with your own morality.
Mm-hmm.
When you leave from here and you sit down like, wait, boy, I would have killed him, boy. I wonder, boy, would I have been on her side or his side? Like, who? Yeah, I wanted to think. Yeah,
I like that because it left me that way. First, I like the way you described the discomfort. I was never comfortable in the seat. Never. No point in the place. Like what? Because for those who haven't seen it, right? We're talking about it now in hindsight, but it's a reveal.
Yes.
Right? And the reveal at the end, that was intense too. That was intense because at first when it started, I wasn't even sure that I was looking at a brother and sister. I feeling like I was looking at a couple. The way they were talking at first. Yeah. And then it started show itself, his brother and sister. And there was one point, I feel like the gun points at me. I was like, what's going on here? I was like, what is this? Tyker bring me to execution? So I think, but I think that discomfort, I'm starting to understand it now in terms of what you're going for. Because it is the topic itself, as I said, is one that we need to discuss more as a country, maybe.
Oh, yes, definitely. And I was having this conversation when Newsday interviewed me of like, we only experience these people for a paragraph and a half. We don't know their lives before, and we sure don't check in with them after that paragraph and a half.
Of course.
If they even get that much.
Yeah.
Some people let's get
the paragraph and a half, it's got to be tragic.
Yeah.
You understand?
It's got to be bad. And then, so we don't engage with the people who live in these neighborhoods. And I'm saying the people who live in these neighborhoods, I live in the neighborhood.
Sure.
So beyond the headlines, who are these characters? These people have families, they have lives, they went to school, they have a certain level of education, but there are also moments of joy. The little baby born, they have a christening home, a birthday party, or, the joy that comes with grieving a lost one at a wake. Those are those intimate, intricate moments that we don't have access to.
No.
Because we are separate from these people. We don't know them and we don't care to know them.
No.
But based on my life as being a creative person, since I'm in this thing my whole life, I always ask why. I have a seeking spirit. I want to, all right, let me get on to the meat.
Of course.
So now I'm, that incident happened with a young lady who went to this bar in what do you call it, in Barataria here after work. And then the young man called her outside and she went in the car and I want to know why did he make that choice?
Yeah.
Why did she make that choice? I want to get to the crux of the thing. Which is why when they put the headline, producer stages play about psychology of criminals, I was like, oh God, what is this?
Yeah,
oh gosh. But it really is that. It really is, because I want to know. I'm so curious always about the why and about the circumstances that lead up to a choice.
Sure.
But we as a society deal with things in isolation.
Yeah. It's something I talk about all the time, I feel like sometimes our definition of victim is very, very narrow.
Oh, yeah.
In these situations, because I like you, I try to understand, and I try to understand to justify, maybe even forgive. I just want to understand. Yes. I just want to know what, I don't think people are one thing. So the paragraph brings it down to one thing.
Yeah.
It's like a criminal did X, Y, Z. Or a victim was blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
But it's like the lead up to it. And it's a part of the issue that I feel we have as a society. If we don't discuss certain things, it will just stay in the dark.
Yeah.
And it will continue to perpetuate long after me and you gone.
And it's a cycle, as you say, it's going to keep going and keep going and keep going. And then we're just going to be like, well, it's not my family.
Right.
It's not my responsibility. It'll be very hands off. So now you have no choice but to sit on his seat and shift left and right.
Of course.
And hold your breath.
Of course, because you're never in it.
You're never in it.
Mm.
But now you are.
Mhm.
You are sitting in a Chia and this living room and you are witnessing the relationship that they have with each other, the relationship they have with the community, with the space that they find themselves being born into. You have to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, you can leave.
Yeah,
I'm not saying I'm going
No, I can stand up kind of by the door. You just can't leave. You can't to leave because saying, what is this? If I come out, we think gonna look good.
No, but you have the full autonomy. You could get up, you could
Sure.
go there. But it was so interesting to me. Nobody went to the toilet during the show.
No.
Everybody went.
You can't stop.
She was like, what is happening? And I was telling a friend yesterday because she wasn't here to come to the show. I said there was a night when I think it was the Saturday. It was either the Saturday or the Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a moment in the show where Taf's character, Akia, she gives Sal the weapon back. She says, here, look. And he says, move from my knee with that.
Yeah.
And his voice filled up the space. And he's a tall guy. And he has a presence and an aura. Love that man. And the whole audience just went, everybody leaned back on all sides. Everybody just went, that's it. And I tell him, move from my me with that. And everybody just went. And I was there and I'm looking, I'm like, everybody lean back.
So you're there observing me while you...
I'm watching y'all watch the show. I'm looking at y'all engage with my work because this is new for me.
Mm-hmm.
And to be as close to this. Because when I had my work in 19, I did not want to see it.
No.
I don't want to watch. I had worked so hard. It was a lot. It was stressful. I stayed backstage.
This you one for mansplaining?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'll be backstage. And then the last night, they come backstage looking for me. They want to give me flowers and pull me out. I'm like, the work is not about me, guys.
No.
It's about you. I don't really want to. But this round, I was like, no, I want to see.
Yeah, you see all of it.
I want to see. I want to know what you guys in the moment experienced.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lady on a Friday night.
I can imagine.
Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And then there was another young lady sitting down on the end on the Sunday night, and then one there's a monologue that Tafar does.
Yeah, she pick her side.
And then later down, she leaned forward.
Mm-hmm.
She in it.
Yeah.
Say, right, okay. You have them, fellow, you have them. Yes. That is the type of work I like to do.
Right.
It's the type of work that I feel like I've been called to do.
Sure. So Poison for you is a complete story, or you have intention of fleshing it out more?
I mean, I would like to leave it as is, but characters always talk to me. I always hear Tony Hall telling me in my head, like, when the character's talking to you, it's like, I just listen to them. And when they hush, you tune out. Okay, when they start to talk, start to write.
Yeah.
Start to write, start to go. So people are like, so where do you rest?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so other people asking you this, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like, okay.
I want to see she go in the car. I want to see she take the man out.
I want to see what happened.
I'm like,
I want to go backward too. I want to go back to the time where where
when the incident took place and things. I'm like, do I want to do that, or do I want to just give y'all work?
Yeah,
as the audience, like, y'all could decide whether.
I suppose I guess Mohammed was here and he said something about his performances, and he said it's all one thing. I was asking him about their audience interaction and stuff, and I guess that's for you too. It's all one thing. The audience is part of the thing.
To some extent, yes. Because the actors have done their job. As the writer and director, I've done mine. And then you're going to take from it what you will.
Gotcha.
Because you come in with your own perception, your own experiences, your own perspectives. And so you're going to receive it different to how someone else will. And that's the point of art. That's
the interpretation is the
action.
Yeah.
So now you have some work to do, whether it's sitting down here talking about it or at home or, and that have nothing to do with me. You've now experienced it and you are going to turn it into whatever you must.
I'm with you.
Yeah. So to some extent, yes, the audience is important, and I don't ever underestimate my audience.
Right.
Ever. I mean, the things I write that I find funny, but nobody laughs.
Yeah.
And things that I find are like, really? People was, do a little chuckle. And so, again, it's also, it's all how you receive it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, my work done.
Yeah. Well, your work starts when the thing was done. Before I go back, when you say Tony Hall, you're really a long time. You're here today when you talk about Tony Hall. Eh? But when you came out at the end to kind of talk to everybody, well, the first thing I noticed was how it broke the tension. Almost immediately, you could, because I guess when you're watching a show or play, when you forget the person you're watching, that's when I know the person really have you. I tell us when I went to school with Nikolai, I never knew he was in the arts or anything. I never knew he was playing guitar. Yeah, he's so quiet in school. I never hear him talk.
He's a menace.
I never hear. He's really.
And I love that about him so much. Like I feel so connected to him in that way of like being silly, but also a lot of our going through the process of poison, realizing we have so much in common, like belief system wise. And I was like, oh, okay. And he said to me one night, we left rehearsal, we went for a couple of drinks, and he was like, the more I'm around you, Tyker, the more I realize you're just like me.
Yeah.
What? Oh my God. Because every day I'm in rehearsal, I have to be professional. I can't fan good. I can't fan
No,
good.
you can't do it.
So you're saying that you didn't know he was in the art. It's like, oh yeah, he would keep that away from everybody.
Yeah, he was in
He's a very private guy.
Quiet as ever.
Very quiet and very but very meditative and very reflective and very introspective guy.
Yeah, a lot of depth.
Oh yeah, he's deep in the ocean.
Yeah. I'll get him to come and talk about it here hopefully one day.
Yeah. And he's multifaceted. So he's a musician, he's a visual artist, he's an actor. He's
continuing to impress. The more I see him, is always impressive. But I remember when you came on and you started talking, that was the first time I realized I was watching Nikolai.
Right.
I was like, shit, this Nikolai is a real person. You get so caught up in the role of a gangster.
He did it so well. I mean, both of them, huh?
Yeah, it's a Tafar's her emotions.
Yeah. I mean, when you're working with the best.
The best indeed.
The best of the best. I am so privileged to have worked with them. I did not take any rehearsal for granted.
Right.
There's so much that I learned about my own process in working with them in this rounds and realizing, oh my gosh, I've gotten better as a director.
Look at you.
Gosh. People are understanding me and I'm giving clarity. And but from jump, they just dived in and embodied these two characters in such a beautiful way that even 2 days before the show, Nikolai and Taf were still finding things about the characters. And then on the second night, he was like, I don't even feel like, I know it's the second day, but feel like I'm now finding out things about D. I want to go next weekend.
Yeah.
And I found that to be like, that blew my mind because I was like, all right, pops.
So the next weekend come in? What we get?
I would like to. I think in future, yes, I definitely want to. I think now that the film idea is kind of chuck in. I'm like, right, okay, cool.
Maybe
so
there's a direction
to make a film. But I mean, there's no bounds. The work will evolve and become what it must. I have thought about adding things to the script as is, but I have also like in my mind, I'm like, if I extend it for theater, what does that look like? What is the story that you're trying to tell? Are you just adding for adding's sake?
Yeah.
Or should you add the thing for the screenplay? You know?
Understood.
Yeah.
So going back into the day now, because I always used to talk about like stand-up comedians, and I feel like they have a role. When you watch like Chappelle, for instance, he talks about very, very uncomfortable issues, particularly political for him.
Yes.
And whether he end up on the right side of the issue or wrong, I don't know if that exists, but at least it provokes some thought. Like you said, leave you thinking about it. And it seems as though you see yourself in the space to do the same thing.
Yes.
You know, I guess maybe because the most commercial part of our theater world here, or the most advertised part, is the comedy thing.
Yes.
It's horn, you know. I mean, once you put horn on a flyer, go sell in Trinidad, people coming to see the selfie.
Yeah.
But Where would that have started for you to take such deep issues to make into theater, to provoke thought and that deliberately? Yeah.
I think from my childhood, I kind of been in the space of art, but also activism.
Right.
But in terms of creating my own work as that, I would say 2015, 2016.
Right. Where you grew up?
I grew up in Belmont. I was a Belmont girl. About 4 streets from where Kwame Ture was born.
I see.
So, I'm a revolutionary at heart. Belmont soil is very rich in that. And also the family background that I have. Everybody on my mother's side is an artist.
Yeah.
Everybody.
See.
So I kind of, didn't have a choice. I had to be here struggling with all you. Trying to make all you see yourself every day.
We be here.
So yeah, growing up in Belmont was, and I mean, because I'm still there, I'm still living in Belmont. Is a character in my life. And so that would have fueled the work and be like, I alone seeing this nonsense? Or, me? Okay, right. Let's write something. Let's do that. So that was in the poetry that I wrote. That was in the things I did with my kiddie students when I started teaching kids. And what is it we're trying to get across to audiences in terms of, seeing yourself or being a mirror to society, or, I went to a play, won't say what it is. And it's one of the storyline really is that this woman husband was horn, talking about horn.
Of course.
And she sent her obia for the man, and the obia spin back, and she went crazy. And I started and I said, so man don't get horn or where the story about the play about the men getting horn? What going on? That was in 2016.
Right.
I say, yeah, boy, I fed up see this woman horn story thing. I will. Oh God, I tired.
Yeah.
I go down red big tongue to think. I go down to a play about banging horn. I go in. And that's what the first inception of the idea for Mansplain came about.
Right.
Didn't have a name yet. I was like, right, I'm going to do a man play. Right. I started thinking about all the things. And then the pieces just wouldn't align and it just wouldn't happen. And from 16 into 19 when I did it, so that's what 3 years, men would just find me, Corey. I say, no on the bus, that old man come and sit down, like the whole life. Standing up in a line in the bank, man, comes stand next to you, try to talk. And these men just had to find me in different pockets. Fellas who I had known for a long time, all of a sudden they sort of share intimate details. So I'm like, whoa, what's this?
Yeah, I'll call it.
And I say, all right, I listening. You're selling it for me all the time. I tuning in. And at the point in time as well, too, 16, 17, I was involved in a romantic relationship with a gentleman whose child mother was not allowing him access to their child. And she was living abroad, and so there was need for communication. And I saw how the lack of access to his child affected him. And by extension, affected our
relationship.
Gosh, you're getting in the middle of his arms. Oh, come on. Jeez.
We can't have that.
Oh, come on. I need to put this in a play.
Yeah, you have to do something about this.
I need to write about this. That relationship ended up fizzling out, but the work remained potent.
Beautiful.
And then I had some focus groups with fathers, which was chef's kiss. So good. And then around the same time, I got the opportunity to go into the prisons with an NGO that I'm a part of called Fire Circle. And getting stories inside of there was the other thing. I was like, oh gosh, I need to do this show. Then I go to, then my mentor at the time, well, one of my mentors at the time, Raymond Choo Kong, is murdered. I go to Grenada to cleanse, to and I'm assaulted on the beach.
Yeah.
I said, nah, I need to do something about this. One man in the thing, we need to, if one man could get the information about how what they feel affects everybody, yeah,
And change something.
And I left the beach and I went to my son and message all the men who I think I want to be in this. Right. This one, right. When I come home, I want to meet.
Right.
Say, all right, cool. Before he passed, he had told me, Raymond, that is, you're still going to do that man show that you're talking about? Because in the last 4 years of his life, we had a very close relationship. And he say he was doing mentoring by the masters, and one of his students was doing a monologue, and he said, "Well, you come on, Mako." I said, "All right, cool, no problem." I stand up in the back of the thing and I'm watching. And the person who did the monologue, he was talking about his friend who was murdered. I know the friend. The friend taught me maths. Lived 2 doors away from me, like right down the road. I heard when he was killed.
Oh, man.
So it was an amalgamation of the stories from the men, the incidents with me, the relationship I was having, the Raymond pushing, then Raymond's death, then going to Grenada and experiencing this thing. And I said, nah, And it just kept, it's like, this is the work we have to do. This is the work. So I got an interview with one of the prisoners in maximum security. So thankful to the then commissioner and assistant commissioner and lead of programs for that, like to this day. So thankful. So we got that. A student of mine was going to school in New York. He sent a video. I was doing interactive theater before it was a thing.
Look at that.
So we had screens. We had a big screen during the play. We had that. Now very close colleague of mine, Deidre, she was working with young people in Aruka. Have filming those children to get them involved in the piece. And every single one of the men who was in the show live, we all realized through the process that this was destined. In that every single cast member, my stage manager, and me, none of us grew up with our father in the house. Dai Obia. And I like that.
Yeah.
That is my kind of Obia. There we go.
Of course.
It was also a very cathartic time for me because on a professional standpoint, I was going through real shit. It was stressful. It was crazy. It was fight down. It was all kind of madness. And on a day when I was just like, I don't think I want to be here anymore, I go down and walk in front of a truck. And I was like, wait, no, I can't do that today. I hurry you. So serious thing.
This is the process.
I telling you. Yeah, boy, I can't disappoint my boys.
Yeah.
And I went to Giselle and I sat down and I listened to them run and they ran the opening piece over and over, which was a piece about fatherhood.
Right.
And they finished and I went and I sat down in the room and I told them about what my day was and and I'm in tears. And I felt free to be vulnerable with them because they had been vulnerable with me throughout the process. So all of that to say that the reason why I do the type of work that I do is because I know the impact it has on me as a person, and I know the impact it has on the people I work with, and then by extension, my audience. And then when you go and you talk about it, by extension, another group of people, Trinidad and Tobago, if we tour it, it's going to affect people in Grenada differently, Jamaica, Barbados, St. Lucia. It's going to affect, it's going to have a ripple effect. Drop this full bucket. And because I know how deep-rooted my work is, I understand that this is pauper work. In that you ain't gonna make no sort of money from this.
You know what I say? Don't put that out there, no?
Well, it's been the history of Trinidad and Tobago that when you're doing work that is not seen as commercially viable, people don't want to put no money in that because they don't gonna get views and likes and all this kind of garbage. But that's my lane. That's my space. I feel called for. That's destined. That's also what inspires me to write more. Because I'm like, nah, boy, we have to tell this story. This one here, this is the one. Yeah, this is the one we have to tell. This one.
Oh, it's you.
And in telling those stories and sparking something in somebody else, it's like, oh, well, then I do the work that is I'm for. I did the thing. My goal is not to be a part of the popular vibes. My goal is not to be a part of the cool kids table. I revel in my anonymity. I am so glad that people have no clue I am. I'm your least known guest, Corey. And I love it. I love it. I'm niche.
You see?
I'm very niche. It's yeah. And I do take for granted the lessons that I've gained throughout my over 20-year career, right? Tony Hall, that is, used to do playwrights theater, readers theater, where you would write your play and you would come and you would have people read it. It's very similar to what we did with Eric. And one of the people who was head of this, a playwright called Vern Guerin, who's now passed. Vern was a retired fireman, but he used to write. He was one of the first people to read my work.
Oh, I see.
And he said to me, Tykes, you write Trinidad beautifully. There is something about the texture of your writing that is unlike anybody's that I've ever seen. When I read, I hear Trinidad. Whoa. I was 20 when he told me that. I was 20 and I'll never forget it. Tony used to always tell me the characters thing, yes, but always like, you are a professional Mako. And your work is to look at people and to take those stories and to share it, which is what he told David Rudder.
I see.
And David Rudder was doing things like writing things like Madman Rant and these kind of things.
Of course.
So if Tony could tell David and he told me, it's like,
I find it's such a parallel to me. Like when I talk to writers, understanding first what moves you to write is interesting, because most people who had the experiences that you had yourself or with others, they will tell the story, but they will tell the story in a barbershop, on the block or home or whatsoever it is. But you have formal training in theater. That's where you went into. Where did it start for you, that telling your story in this way? So
telling stories in general for me started as a child. So I'll get your family rundown. My great-grandfather, Clifford Archibald Roach, is the first West Indian cricketer to score 100 and 200 against England in a test match.
I like it.
That's my stock. That's what I come from. My great-grandmother, his wife, did not want her children to be Roaches. So she said to her husband, they will carry my name, which is Winter-Roach.
Right.
Jamette woman.
Winter Roaches, your family.
There we go. Good stuff. So this, and as we're chatting, I'm even going from before them because of that things. This is my maternal family, right? My grandmother was a copywriter. She worked at TTT, Radio Trinidad, McCann Erickson. My grandfather was a poet. He was part of the Whitehall Players. He was good friends with Derek Walcott. He would have spent a lot of time at Trinidad Theatre Workshop. That's my grandparents. I spent a lot of time with them in my formative years.
Right.
Their children, the eldest, Colin Lucas, talked about my uncle when he was here, Sebastian Herbert.
I see.
He's an excellent musician. Toured the world. Was in Europe for many, many years.
Right.
Tortured artist. My aunt used to read the news on TV6 at 6 a.m. in the morning. If you saw her, you know you were going to be late for school. Worked at Radio Trinidad, worked at the Trinidad Guardian. My mother worked at the Bomb, my mom worked at the Guardian, my mom worked at TTT, worked with Sharp Productions. That's my stock.
I got you.
That's where I come from maternally. Paternally, it's all about support, and we love you and we pray for you, which I appreciate and I love so much. And that's good stock. And I love my good small island genes that I get nice little warish spirit from.
Right.
So yeah.
Which island?
Several. So you have Grenadiers and Vincent, Barbados.
Nice.
Plenty thing mixed up.
Nice.
As well as a great-great-grandparents who came straight from India as a merchant. So it's how all kind of thing. I was a Trini. I mix up.
Trini, can't be that.
Taino and all them kind of. So there's that. So as a child, I was introduced to and around a lot of creative spaces.
Right.
The first person to ever encourage me to write stories was a man called Roy Watts, who was my grandfather's friend, who was the general manager of TTT.
Yeah, he was always ending up here.
There we go. Right? Second person, Theodora Gittins Eulery. Auntie Tia, the mystic storyteller.
Right.
I grew up in the bush. Okay? I grew up around Islamic people, Hindus, Catholics, Baptist lady up the road. I've been in, this week is Jose. I'm going Jose. I haven't been to Jose in a long time.
Me too, I say I'm going.
Right?
Mhm.
You have Pagwa when there's people getting married, people die. It's big celebration. It's come for food. It's a man named Jagu who used to feed us like he used to feed himself.
Right.
A big, massive man.
Yeah.
Roti tall like me. Yeah, you know, hungry girl. This is how I grew up.
Got you.
So I was involved in so many things culturally as well as creatively.
And all this was Belmont too?
This was Belmont, this was Tamana, this was Diego Martin, Petit Valley, this was Tragreed Road where my grandfather lived, and then around the Savannah, and then St. Anne's. And my grandfather always had people tripping in and out of the house. He always had some pan man or some person who need a lodging, and it always had stories. There was always a vibe, and I was always encouraged to ask questions. It wasn't make people talk and go from here. It was, I was just there like,
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, most people in Trinidad ain't gonna tell you that, so they couldn't be in the adult.
I did. I like salt and rice. You understand? But I also had a healthy relationship with my maternal family in that my love for food comes from my grandfather.
True.
Nobody can tell me that no avocado on toast. I was eating avocado up spread since I small. You can't come there. But it's quite very. So you cannot trick.
Yeah, $60-$70 for a slice too. You can't really, when I say avocado toast, is heavy money now.
It's avocado up spread and the house spread, let's go.
Yeah, the real McCoy.
Right, with some salt butter. That's where I come from. My grandfather also lived opposite Phase 2 at one point in time. So I used to run away, sneak, and go by the dog street and eat it. When you come back, I'm all tired.
Eating young dogs.
Eating young dogs. So, and then your grandma saying, because she lived in Tamana, don't go and teeth nobody fruit. Okay, well, I wish her all the best. All the pomerac and all the 5 finger and your leg bust up. And I had scars on my leg from being a child and running around and having these experiences. And because she was who she was, my grandmother, there were people who loved her a lot, who would be around. So that's how I met Clive Bradley.
You see.
That's how I met, Bill Trotman was my grandfather's
It's like, when
friend.
you born? You calling some names here like...
91, I was a baby, I young.
Names you call.
But these are the people I was around.
Really?
I lived in the library. When the library was on Duke Street.
Right.
My mother worked up the street and leave me in the office. Walk down the road and go in the library. I read the entire children's library and teen library before they closed it to open the new library. Every book. Fiction and non-fiction. And then at one point, they used to have a readathon. I read in all the books. I went reading competition. I went Fanny Fall competition. I fall in love with Atta Clan in the Duke Street Library when he come to talk about dinosaur dumpling, pulling to Springer. These are the people I was around. This is the information I gained from being in spaces with these people as a youth.
Yeah, I understand. That'd be really young too.
Yeah.
So you don't have the normal experience. Well, I guess not normal, but the Trinidadian experience.
I am so privileged, Corey. And I recognize it more and more that I'm getting older. I'm like, oh wait, everybody didn't grow up like this.
Yeah, because you calling names here, I gotta put footnotes and all that. Because some people listening here.
Who these people are? Yeah.
They're lost.
That's my life.
Right.
That's my life, and it was encouraged.
Right.
So to come from that and to then end up in a space where you're working, I didn't go to UE to get a degree.
Right.
I was performing since I was small. I was performing in the opening of Anime Carib at Normandy. I meet Robert Tongs and their photographic proof. Right? I was in Radical Design's first show at Queen's Hall in my little Save the World t-shirt.
If I talk to plenty of people born in 91, they might remember who's Radical Designs. You remember that?
This is the old Queen's Hall before Colin Laird did his beautiful design of it.
Right.
And because I love history, I love dates, my affirmation to people is to call your name.
Right.
Whether you're here or you're no longer with us, I have to call your name. Because you added value to me.
Yeah, I love that.
So now my job is, I will speak your name.
Yeah, carry it forward.
I must. It is my duty. So that's where my foundation. That's the base.
Yeah.
So when you're coming from of that, when you have that.
Yeah, you're bound to be.
Yeah. And it's so new for me to even talk about myself because I don't like to do it.
Right.
Because I'm like, oh gosh, I don't want to be, that's my grandma. Very, oh gosh, and it's very, you don't talk about yourself too much. Right. You just put your head down, you get your work done. Nope.
Yeah. A change.
I have had to.
Yeah.
Because I have had to recognize that I'm standing on the shoulders of people who did great things, and I am not no just come.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been doing this for a very long time, which is why when I open my mouth and I say certain things or I have certain stances, I know that there is a backing,
Of course.
it comes from someplace.
Yeah.
I didn't just yank it out my big toe this morning. Like, no.
Like we were talking about Angie Martinez before we started.
Yeah.
Her book was about finding her voice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a powerful book to me in terms of what she's been able to accomplish, as you were saying. But even before that, I want to talk about Belmont a little bit, because Belmont, for me, I grew up in St. James, right? But I have a lot of family, some of my closest family.
Second place I would live if I was to be from Belmont.
Everybody in Trinidad would want to live St. James, you know.
Because you can walk and go
St. James is a spot. That's what I was saying, who say too. I was saying that.
Yeah.
But Belmont is at least when I was growing up, a cultural hub.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot happens coming out of Belmont.
Yeah.
A lot of things that happen in other places get stamped and passed through Belmont before they come in town, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it hurts me a lot when I look at Belmont now. I was looking at a documentary. Well, you saw this for Christmas List Come Trinidad.
Yes, I'm not a fan.
So he walking through several different areas, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Belmont was one that was, I guess because I know Belmont.
Yeah.
And that whole idea from the circular road to Bella Road, and you can't walk this side to that side. I always want, it's like, what we come to, because we used to walk. We used to just walk everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I don't know who I walk in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say I don't care. I walk with purpose. You use discernment.
Sure.
But there's also a sense of, I from here.
Mm-hmm.
These streets know me. I know the streets. I went to school in Belmont.
Mm-hmm.
I went Belmont Girls on Clifford Street.
So you know Miss Rousseau?
Miss Rousseau was my teacher before she went Newtown.
Serious? That's my auntie.
Look at that. And so therefore I know your next auntie who's do crochet in East Side Mall. This is the people I grew up with.
I understand.
So I went to Belmont Girls, passed for St. Francois, and then worked in Belmont for a long time right on Gillingham Avenue.
Understand.
I know all the crackheads. I know all the homeless people. I know all the people living in the houses. Old people who's sick. Old people who getting better.
Yeah, they know you.
All the children.
Mm-hmm.
I know which cherry tree to go on and which one not to go by.
Right.
Because I have a big dog and I tempt that man there. He don't like children too. So I know all those things.
Of course.
So it's all about walking in purpose for me.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
And I, up to last night, I was having this conversation with a person who's saying, you know, I'm coming out of the taxi at Park and Frederick because he wanted to take me down into Portersby. I said, no, I'm not going there.
Right.
It's easier for me to get out at Park and Frederick to walk in as opposed to walking from the bottom of Charlotte Street at this hour.
Yeah.
Man next to me said, well, you have to not walk around at this hour of the night. Skirks.
Mm-hmm.
If I go Germany, 2 a.m. in the morning, I walking up and down.
Mm-hmm.
New York on the subway, 4 a.m. You're on the A, going back to Brooklyn from Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
I must come home
and
go in before the news start. Or the outer place. And it's not about being arrogant. It really is saying, hey, I am not going to let a few people hold me hostage in my community. But I think the reason why they have the mindset, and this is these young men and women who live the lives that we've featured in Poison, they don't know themselves. They also don't know what Belmont has gifted the world because it's not been taught to them. It's a very deliberate and systemic thing to keep you away from yourself. Those of us who have the privilege to access spaces outside of our community understand it all too well. But when you want to hustle because you left school at 15 because of whatever circumstance, whether it is you didn't have your parent or your grandmother was your sole caretaker or you were taking care of your grandparent and your smaller siblings, and school is a bit too much because that rigid columns and rows thing is not where your brain is at. You more fix-it person, and the school is not designed to assist multiple types of learners. So it's all of these different things. So when you trying to eat, you don't have no time to study.
Of course.
Kwame Ture from Belmont. Shadow leaves the big one, was living in Belmont. Brother Mudada from behind the bridge. You don't have no time to study.
Yeah, I understand what you mean fully when you say systemic. You know, this way, going back to the characters in Poison.
Yeah.
I appreciate the fact that somebody willing to, because I feel like it's a risk sometimes to tell these stories that that make us uncomfortable or make me cast it down in the chair.
I'm willing to tell those stories, Corey. Yeah. I think it is my responsibility to tell those stories.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I can't do airy-fairy. People be like, oh gosh, you're so funny. Why do you write a comedy? I can't.
Yeah.
It just doesn't come to me.
Really?
I don't.
Well, look, when you came on in Poison, the whole thing turned into a comedy immediately, you know, when you started talking about...
I'm good off the cuff.
Right.
I'm really... Don't ask me to write no script for comedy. It will be the most boring comedy you'll ever find in your life.
Yeah.
But you see drama?
Yeah.
I love that. I feel most challenged with writing drama, because how do you make these people, how do you make an audience fall in love with a villain or side with a villain? That's my favorite kind of movies to watch.
Yeah.
The only villain I didn't like was Jeffrey Baratheon. Ugh.
That's not
words. Yeah, just get rid of him. But I find myself, like, most times I love a villain. The Joker is my favorite villain. Jack Nicholson's Joker. Oh my...
Yeah. I remember, like, Denzel in Training Day. Like, you love him, you hate him. You kind of... Yeah.
You're like, how to... And then he good looking. So rum. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So but I know for a fact that in telling these stories, or giving... I don't say giving voice. Ew. Telling these stories is important because they won't get told, because most people, like you say, are afraid to, because it is risky. And how you go?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah, the duality of it, you know. Sometimes you're kind of on the character side, sometimes you're not, you know. And it's because it's within, they say, as you come into your own past and so on. Yeah. But you also teach.
Yes.
Yes? Your teaching is in theater as well, or what?
I've been through, I left school and started teaching. So I started teaching at 17.
Yeah.
Yeah. I teach from little people all the way up to adults.
But how you do it? Is workshops, or is it in a school, is it an institution?
Workshops. Okay. So I started teaching theater workshops for children right out of school. Actually, right out of school, I taught teenagers. And I did a carnival theater workshop alongside some carnival artisans, so people who were midnight robbers and baby dolls, and like get teens involved in creating the work to become a part of the ethos.
So how are you going about doing that? Because at 17, when you say you're doing a workshop, what does that look like? You're going to rent a space, you're going to advertise.
So I was working with a theater company at the time, and so that was the avenue through which I would have done that.
Right.
And so we would have invited these teenagers to come, and as they're preparing for CXC, I was a drama facilitator, and then the practitioners of the Midnight Robber, Baby Doll, Dameron, they came in and they bolstered the theater to what they practice.
I see.
So that's what we did with Carnival Workshops. So that's the first thing as I leave school, I was teaching that.
Yeah.
And then teaching little children theater. Which was very interesting because I was like, oh my gosh, they're children, they're smally. Are they going to understand? And they did.
Yeah.
The first play I ever directed was Sonia Dumas's Two Villages on a River. And that was beautiful. And that was a nice entryway into working with children. And then I did that for many years. And then I started teaching teachers how to teach drama.
I see.
Which was very interesting. Trainer. When there was an effort to want to get rid of SE and create like through your
move the continuous assessment.
Yes, continuous assessment component, as they called it. And so I was part of the visual and performing arts curriculum team. So to help build the curriculum as well as go out and teach teachers how to integrate drama, dance into their already established curriculum. So how do you teach mathematics with drama? There's exercises, theater exercises you could use to teach how to multiply and how to add and how to do vocabulary.
And so I'm going to ask if you find children who are already like yourself in families who in the arts or who in school doing arts or something.
Most times, no.
Come from? No.
Most times, no. There are children who are engaged because they came to a theater camp because they want to be a star. So there's also that spectrum. But most times, no.
No.
Most times, no. Teens also, they're just like, I don't really want to be here, but my
So how
mother
does the
sent me.
mother parents?
My mother sent me.
Asking because like I was exposed. Let me put this out there too, right? I want to write a play one day. Something I want to do. I don't know where to start. I don't know where
Eric has a workshop started in the next few weeks. I'll send you the flyer.
Good. That may be the best thing to do.
There we go.
I've been putting this in ChatGPT. But ChatGPT want to write the play for me. I don't like that. I want
to write your own thing yourself. Yeah, Eric have a workshop coming up.
But I was exposed to it, well, through, of course, Auntie Saka, who I used to call her Miss Rousseau.
Yeah.
And everything that Belmont Girls did, I was the boy in the play. Right. Every single time. Her daughter was always in the play, Gabby, and I narrated with her. So I remember doing several plays. St. Francis Church is St. Francis of Assisi, yeah. I always the one boy in the thing. And then I used to go to church camp back in the day. And in church camp, I used to go Victory Heights. And there would always be a night where we would play like a competition. So I started to get exposed to like coming up with some idea, like making your idea into a production. You know, they give us a little thing and they buy some things from the tuck shop and they make it happen. And then, of course, school was a lot like I went Newton Boys. And there was always something that had to be a part of. You know, only Marval Street. Yeah. It's the whole Marval Road. We had to make it happen. Miss TTT, of course, is national. But I feel like if sometimes we discuss things like plays and the arts in general as if it's for people like yourself and somebody who is an academic or an engineer can't benefit from it, and I feel like we're missing something.
Oh yes,
I feel like because
we're missing a lot.
When I do those things for church and we told church in church and they do thing with Ebenezer Church and thing, the man that gets saved in the end, right? So we know what's going to happen in the end. But at least you get the opportunity to explore different concepts and real life and what was actually happening in the block on St. James, and then some kind of not resurrection, but some savior come through in the end, and we good. And I wonder if like when you say use drama to help with maths or use drama to help with different subjects, I wonder how far are we from getting things like that into the curriculum like very, very early to help our children learn differently.
How far away are we from it?
Well, first, if you see benefits in it, assuming you do, yeah. Okay.
I do, definitely. How far are we from it? I think unless we have constitutional change.
As deep as that?
Yeah. She's trying to. She's not Salcedo, but she's deep. You know what I mean? The education system that we currently have is built on a British system which is based on eugenics. Okay. It's proven. Oh, it's true. The literature is there. You can read it. When we veer away from that, I think we will be in a better standing. However, we also need to not be on a 5-year cycle. We've now entered a new 5-year cycle, and it seems as though everything that happened in the last 10 years has been wiped clean. Nothing existed before April of 2020.
So we always starting afresh.
We always starting fresh. How we will get anything done if we always starting from zero? We should be in a place of building on what already exists. Because we're going backward.
Yeah.
If we have to start from scratch all the time.
By design.
So there must be a way, whether it's through constitutional reform and legislature, of you can't wipe away what happened before. We need to build on it. There also needs to be a collective agreement between everybody in Trinidad and Tobago that we need to get rid of exams. And I say that with my chest. The children I deal with, they always have a test. Right. They always have it. So now, when they reach by me now, they have severe anxiety because they think that when I ask them a question, it's an exam. When really and truly, I just want to have a conversation. There's no reason we should be having an exam at standard 1, standard 3, and then standard 5. There's no reason why at standard 3 we throw away social studies and we only focusing on maths, English, and creative writing, and we ponging that in the children head right through.
In rote too.
Yes.
Memorize it.
So because you have to do it just as it says on paper. So you're not creating holistic human beings. Sure. You are creating little machines who will then go into this wrecked system. So what are we doing? We are testing society now. That's what we just do. We just do tests.
Yeah. And you know what? To add to what you're saying, we have a, culturally, I suppose, attitude where everything that's not maths, English, and creative writing is considered extracurricular.
Yeah, which
and you
is
must
crazy.
stop extracurricular when tests come.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which drives me up every wall.
Don't play no sports.
No.
Don't play no pan.
When all of these things scientifically contribute to you doing well in the maths, English, and all of these things. Because if you're in theater, you're going to be able to tell stories. So your creative writing is going to be exceptional. You're playing football, you're playing hockey. It's all about strategy. It's all about working in teams. It's all about knowing scores. It's also fitness and exercise.
Yeah, so you could show up to study better. Yeah.
But now it's only test. And then you remove social studies and civics and these things, so these children have no clue who Baz the Opanda is.
Yeah.
Rude.
Yeah.
How you could not know the silver fox?
Yeah. They only know.
You have no clue who
They know how much worse off their life is for not knowing that.
Former, leaders of this country.
And you're talking about the politics.
Emblems. You don't know your national anthem, the school pledge. Your school don't have a school song. It's, there's a lack of belief in country because we don't teach it. We don't engender it.
Right.
The only time we wear red, white, and black is if it's our football match in the stadium
or
is Independence Day. But because there's no pride in our country, and it shows in the infrastructure being what it is, and the crumble of the literal crumble of the infrastructure. When the folks at the top don't care, why I should care? All enough fixing the road, so I will throw the garbage.
Yeah.
The garbage collection is few and far between, and so, I will litter.
But add that to the people who are still looking for a daily hustle and to get it, and how they want to get it. They'll destroy whatever it is, including yourself.
Yes. Yeah. So it's multi-layered, and Marlon Hopkinson told me I sound like a politician when I came to his show to promote Poison. I said, no, man, don't tell me that. Oh, God.
No, but you sound like that's good. That's a good thing.
I said to him, there are 4 things that are going to get Trinidad in a better place. And that's the arts, which is creative and performing arts, sport, agriculture, and the tourism of all those 3 things. And I was doing some maths the other day, or at least attempting to. We have 9 prisons in Trinidad and Tobago. 9. All of the population of those prisons put together is, I want to say, a small fraction of the amount of artists and artisans we have in Trinidad and Tobago. Why do we have more criminal lawyers than entertainment lawyers?
It's like you're trying to blow my mind here. You say the daily hustle. So
we have more criminal lawyers than we have people who could tell you how to write a contract. Or folks who go into psychology and mental health practitioners, because we need those. Why we don't have people talking about branding and sponsorship and for sportsmen and sportswomen and doing endorsements and understanding that type of contract law. Why we don't have people doing agricultural law and understanding land and probate and all of these different things. People is do land and probate as a side hustle to their criminal career. That blows my mind. And if we take care of our environment and we invite people to Trinidad to see it, and that you're pulling people for tourism. And this is outside a carnival. The amount of performers that we have, be it dancers, drummers, any type of musician in the space, creative space, the visual artists, people who doing sculpting, and to the technicians in the creative space. Men who pulling cable and putting up trussing, and is more than them 9 stations put together. Who's the representation for them? Who is having their backs and making sure that they're well taken care of.
Of course.
Where's their OSHA?
Yeah.
Where, what is our, where our trade lawyers? Where are the people who will assist us in making Trinidad and Tobago a one-stop shop where everybody in the Caribbean wants to come here to make a movie? They want to make TV series. They want to come and do theater. They want to do sport meets here. Keyshawn Walker just opened a spa, a med spa.
Oh, nice.
Where you can go as an athlete and do recovery because he had an injury 2 years ago.
So you know what I feel like.
And that's how he was like, but they don't have nothing. I'm going to start it. I'm going to take my money and I'm going to invest it into this thing. We should have people training to be chiropractors.
Of course.
We should have young people working alongside the boys who go in to learn to play football. We have children going to learn how to do deep massage
of course, the support
physical therapy. And
makes sense. But now I understand the answer in terms of constitutional change because we ain't reaching there right now.
No.
Because I can ask, like, so somebody in the arts and in performing arts, so societally, you feel like it's a respected profession? Is it something that people look at and they say?
No.
There's no point.
Everybody, when they try to be a doctor, a liar,
engineer.
Yes, engineer. And these things are great. We need those things.
Yeah.
But we need to pair them with all the other things.
So you brought up Colin Lucas, right? I find it's one of the most interesting things about us as well. Or Mark Laquan as an example.
Yes.
We have so many people. Like, the Trinbagonian is not one thing.
No, we could never be, which is why people be like, you have to choose one thing. And no, I'm a multi-hyphenate person. I do everything.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't do is underwater welding. Mark is a brilliant example. I had the joy of working with him a couple of years ago, of understanding that I love this thing. I am a musician in my heart. My day-to-day are dealing with the politicians and making big decisions, multi-million-dollar moves. But the thing that saves me from not going in my office and strangling people is playing the guitar or composing a piece of music for Dexter to sing.
Of course. There's that. It defines us. Is who we are.
That is such a beautiful thing. And I think that if we, on that whole exam tip of test, we lose the value of all the other things. And then people who see the value take advantage of it and then talk about how they own it. Which is crazy to me because you cannot own something that we have inherited.
Yeah, of course.
And that's not yours because you have to leave. When you dead and gone.
Yeah, the left and right.
It's the children who coming up, people who aren't even born yet. It's them own.
Yeah, something say so interesting about the testing too, because I never thought about that. One of the questions I had to ask you about was stage fright and anxiety. But when you say that, it's profound because we create this environment from as soon as you're in kindergarten, coming up the road, where you're bound to be frightened if you have a question, or you're bound to be frightened if you have to go and stand up and talk in front of people, much less sing or act. Because I don't know if that's your experience, but is it your experience that you have a lot of people who come with that stage fright?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think it's bad. I think stage fright could actually fuel your thing, and you use that anxiety to push you through to the end of your speech or your monologue or the play. I tell my babies, like, yo, that feeling of butterflies in your stomach, use that as excitement.
I read that somewhere, They say, think of it as excitement rather than nerves.
That's what it is, it's excitement. And your body knows that you're going to do this performance, and your body is excited. So match the excitement in your body with your exuberance and push that voice from where you have to project.
Right.
You have to project your voice so that the audience will hear you. So use that to be able to present to your audience.
Right.
I have some brilliant babes.
I would imagine.
They're amazing. I love them.
And what ages? You?
My youngest is 5. My youngest at Belmont Freetown is 5.
Good.
So youngest is 5, and then the eldest. How old is the eldest boy? I think she's 19. So it'll be 19. Yeah, there's a whole bangolation of them.
Yeah.
About 20-something of them.
So that's what Freetown is designed for that?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
So as, founded 27 years ago by Earl and Christine Mark, it is a cornerstone of Belmont. It is important for BFT to encourage young people to be involved in the performing arts.
Yeah.
And so we have, some of the best small drummers. We have some of the best small drummers in the country.
Yeah.
And they are, so one of them who drums with us also drums with Renegades. Also drums with some band down south. He's toying.
Yeah, I see one little youth on Instagram, bad. I'm not sure if it's the same person.
It's probably funny. I love him to bits. He's in Form 2 now at Southeast.
Yeah.
Then we have coming up right behind him, we have Tafar, who drums with us, but also drums with St. Margaret's Boys.
I see.
Brilliant drummer. Disciplined young man. Respectful.
Yeah.
Love a drum.
Yeah.
Love a wall. If you give him this pencil, here you
knock him.
Safari. Yes, miss. Sorry, auntie. Right? Beautiful family. And that encourages him to continue with his instrument.
Right.
He at rehearsal. When we not rehearsing, he in front. He doing his homework.
Nice.
When he finish your homework, he's right there. All right.
Yeah.
Auntie, you ready? Yes, I'm ready. Okay, cool, great. So we have those young men, and we have our little dancers who are very, very popular when we have our show because they're small and they're chunky and they look cute and everybody's fascinated and they can remember choreography. So we have Zafira and Shiloh and Asia, and they come and they go.
They have it.
They're dancing. They like markets. They do a choreography to market last year. So they blinking market.
I like it. I like it.
We have little Nyla in the back, and so they love music. They love dancing. I can't go in this space and not have a million of them coming to hug me.
Of course. They could talk with you just like how you talk. It's just how you calling somebody names.
Yeah.
Call your name.
So I love to see them dance and perform. And then I'm like, oh gosh, is it time to go home yet? Yeah. I'm tired, auntie. I want to go. Okay, no, we're going to run one more time.
Yeah.
All right, okay, one more. And they go and they're ready.
Oh, nice.
And they get ready and then they get their choreography down. And it's so important, I think, for Miss Christine and by extension her husband, Uncle Earl, to support them in their journey creatively, but also to make sure, hey, homework to do, projects.
Of course.
Because you have to be well-rounded.
But this is exactly what you're saying, is a more well-rounded citizen we created.
And all of my children know. Especially my teens, because now the juniors are becoming the junior seniors, as I call them.
Right.
Because they're going into secondary school now. Anything that you're not going to learn in school, they're going to learn with me. So when you come with your head on, come with your listening ears, tuned in, because you're going to get some gems that are going to help you be a better person.
Of course.
And it's be like, all right, okay. And all of them know, and it's like, I don't play. I'm a disciplinarian.
Yeah.
I don't shout, I don't bawl. I'm the queen of silence. Oh, they're talking, all right.
You read them out.
And then there's, Auntie Tyker, wait. Auntie Tyker.
I must try that. I must try it.
And I just watch it because clearly you're having a very meaningful discussion there.
Yeah.
So when we're done, when the caucus is wrapped, I will then give direction. And so I use the work that I do with them to teach. So last year for our show, I did the opening piece with them. We did peregrinades, and in it was really a love letter to Belmont, and to call the names and to be like, these are who have contributed to our space. This is the space that we take up. This is what we've gifted the world.
Yeah.
We've gifted the world Jason Griffith, who just passed. We've gifted the world the King Sailor. And the Fancy Sailor. We've gifted the world Pan, Burrow Keats, Ellis Clark. And Sir Ellis Clark, the man he titled, David Rudder, Shadow, Over the Hill Boys. All these sporting teams that came out of Belmont to playing against Woodbrook Fellas and St. Anne's men in that same savannah that we have at our doorstep.
Of course.
The fact that this was free people who created this community.
Yeah.
It didn't have no planning. It was put a house.
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh shucks, we need a road. Rest down the road. Right? And then Donkey Cat Lane, because that's the only vehicle it had to put the Donkey Cat with the garbage. There are no cars.
Yeah.
So
Lane make to walk.
now when you could drive, if you could drive in Belmont,
You could drive.
Laventille and Sando, you could drive.
You could drive.
You could drive. And then the next step up is being able to drive in Grenada because them drive different.
Serious?
Yeah. I see a man in Grenada, he on the phone, he driving a big truck and he on the phone and he taking so he halfway out the truck. But he going wrong a bend. Like the lady young.
Yeah.
And the road smaller than the lady young.
Yeah, you are the holy end. You get some custom if you're in holy end.
So to infiltrate their minds with who has gifted us Belmont.
Yeah, critical.
So important for me. And I do with them all the time. I'm like, who's this? Like, we don't know, auntie. This person is da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I get them
Yeah, because the school mightn't teach some of the things.
Not might. The school is not. I love that you're giving them the benefit of the doubt, Corey, but they're not teaching us.
They have to. Like, there's a partner having Belmont. I think you're in Gillingham Avenue, just opposite Trium. I only know him as Mr. Cooper.
Yes.
But he have a whole...
Steve Cooper, yeah.
You know? Yeah, you have a whole, like, a mural painted. I wonder sometimes...
Yeah.
Like, you see, they use the term gangsters, you know what I mean? If they paint the murals of their heroes all the time,
yeah.
We sometimes just leave our heroes to be memories.
Yeah, because who's all here?
Yeah.
Who's all here?
I like it.
Yeah, because it's also in the way that we treat each other. We just don't care, we do business. Because what Kaiso was singing in a bamboo tent.
Yeah.
Or going and sing for political parties. And you getting paid, you getting rum and roti.
Of course. Lou was talking about the stick fighter and the pan man being criminals.
Yes.
Yeah,
them is bad chance.
Of course, yeah.
Them is bad chance and the Jamette
and
woman.
Maybe they still are.
In some instances, yes.
No, I mean in our mindset as a society.
Yes, that's what I mean. As that there's still ruffians and
it's
slapping a sponsor on them doesn't necessarily, mean that you're rich in society. You just have to play a little tunes and then look to press.
Head out.
Which is what a lot of corporate sponsors do.
Yeah.
With these bands. But that backyard culture, I think, has to come back, has to return, where we take care of each other, that community, and making sure that everybody knows what's happening with everybody.
Yeah.
And it's a matter of protecting each other.
But we outsource that. We outsource that to Minister of National Security and Homeland Security and Police and Army and things as if we never used to see about our own communities.
Yeah, which is very interesting because those are colonial structures.
Constitutional change, I would say.
Yeah. So whereas for me, in the character of the Jamette is she's a woman in the community who knows who has high blood pressure so he can't eat salt. You get your mother pressure, come, you sit down and shell some peas and let me get some sense into you because clearly you forget that we bring you, we can take you out. And that is the energy we need in this space. We need that Jamette energy of I could send a well-worded email with that Jamette to whom it may concern.
Yeah, that's Jamette energy for sure.
Yeah, I will. You will lose your work. I'm not playing. And I think that, and the holding people accountable is very much Jamette energy as well too. I see you doing nonsense. I'm gonna tell you, I see you doing nonsense, and you know that what you're doing is nonsense. So when you're finished doing that, we go talk. I hear. The Jamette is always there. The doors may not always be open, but they have a window.
Right.
You can knock, I can come. You know what I mean?
I understand.
That sense of community is, I don't want to say it's lost. I think it is in the minority. And that whole thing of don't talk to my child.
Yeah, imagine that. Look where we come to. Look who would have thought. I seen a return to it somewhat though, but because the community was one way. Belmont is St. James, same thing. It's people born and grow there and his grandparents are great, but now the communities get kind of like contrived. It's gated and it's places where all of we come from different places, just put we together. And if people don't make an effort to make community, it's not natural then. It's not, so So that dying off a little bit. But in preserving those stories, that is where Pioneer Productions would have come from.
Yes.
How long ago you started?
2016.
Oh, 2016.
Yeah, she's a baby.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be 10 next year, boy. Wow.
Imagine that.
Yikes, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the birth of Pioneer also too was to be able to collaborate with other creatives in the space who are like-minded.
Right.
Because I am quite aware that I can't have all the things or make all the things. That's the reality. And so in order to make work, I'm like, I have to partner, I have to collaborate, I have to work with my peers. And I also have to make sure that it has to be sustainable.
Right.
That was always the vision. That how do we make making work sustainable for us all, and that there's a certain level of equity.
Gotcha.
Whether it's ownership after the fact that we make it, or we just want to make something and then we'll divvy it up, or how do you bring a thing and I bring a thing, and as a real susu vibe.
Of course.
So for example, with Poison, Pioneer Productions is the leading producer, yes. But my business partner, Gerald Forbes, who has Stenic 22, of which I'm a board member of the managing director kind of vibes.
Right.
Working alongside Stenic to use the resources that we have, shared resources. So my photographer is part of Stenic.
Right.
My stage manager is part of Stenic. We all create a show called Two Jamettes. That's us. That's work that we've done. But the rehearsal space is Stenic's. So I don't have to pay for rehearsal space because it's a susu. You put a thing and I put a thing and everybody add to the pot because we're here for a common goal.
Gotcha.
So that's an associate producer role that Stenic would have taken up. And then my person who did media, does adding to the pot, adding susu, and that for me is really why I keep pushing with Pioneer. There's a while back I was just like, I just gonna scrap that.
Yeah.
I'm about to do this. This damn place hard. But I love doing it. It's enjoyable.
Right.
It really is. Yeah, I couldn't see myself doing anything else. And also I am quite aware that the vision I have for myself and for my peers is not necessarily shared on a broad spectrum, because I'm very anti treating artists badly. Okay. And I'm very vocal about it.
Right.
And I know that when I'm vocal about it, it riles people up and gets you. But I am in a position now where I'm like, I set my time, I set my hours, but I also set my rate. So earlier this year, I did a video and I said, if you want a higher performance for $500 TTD, get somebody else to do it.
Yeah, got it.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I appreciate you doing that too, because that's sustainability critical.
It's not bad. But no, my attitude now is, I'm not even, and that was in January when I did that. Now, in June or July, I'm like, I don't want you to get nobody else to do it. Run your dust.
Yeah.
Nobody must be doing it for 500 TTD. Yeah. Run your dust. So in that sense now, I see Pioneer taking up the fore of championing equity and equitable sharing of resources. Because that's what I do in my partnerships with Stenic, with Theatre Journey, which is Tafar's company, with Mova LLC, which are my partners in Los Angeles. So I definitely see my role here as being, we not taking that. Yeah. I had to be the Jamette man in the front, so they told me, that's my role and responsibility now. So now it's run your dust, because $500 is 1996 rate. Sure. It cost me $500 to get here in a taxi. Don't pay me that. Yeah. And also, private entities, corporate Trinidad, and the government is not to set my rate for me. Them and doing the work. It's I doing it. Yeah. So I know how much it costs to do this. A technocrat is not to tell me that I is to work for $500. It's a no. Yeah. And I've already experienced pushback.
I would imagine.
I've already experienced pushback. Especially, and I don't know if this might be, surprising, from artists.
From artists.
Yeah. Fellow peers.
So they don't want they go to the 5, they don't want no more. What?
No. The artists who doing the hiring don't want to pay the 5.
I see. Oh, yeah.
They want to pay the 5.
Got it. Of course.
You know how hard it is.
Of course.
You
but
have
it might be just the same thing in some more with the standard, because let me assume I have a production company.
Yeah.
And I don't set the standard, I'll take the stance that you take, and I take the short.
Yeah.
I have to short the others.
Yes.
Talk about it in any part of the industry. You say 4 things will bring me back. Talk to anybody in them 4 things, and you'll find that.
And they'll always take the undercut, because there'll always be somebody who will accept the 5.
Of course.
Which is crazy to me. It's just crazy to me. Yeah. But I also, like this year, my experience, I told Gerald, I said, I'm not doing the masquerade ever again.
No. Really?
Unless I is the producer of the masquerade, I'm not doing the masquerade.
No, it's it.
I'm not doing it. Because Calypsonians don't know what things cost.
Right.
The people who run the organizations on a national level don't know what things cost.
You can know.
Or maybe they just don't care.
Yeah. You say it, everybody, we have that thing in the society too, where that whole eat a food or the hustle thing or the today for today. People watching, sometimes we think people making decisions on our behalf, right?
Yeah.
Like you see somebody call you a politician. I always feel like politicians sometimes, we think, okay, it's about building a road or making the community better. Sometimes it's about why I could get out of the deal,
Yeah.
And that is precedent. So when you wonder, well, why they put it so? Why they didn't think of this? Or why this wasn't beautified?
Yeah. It's not in their best interest.
No,
and it's not part of their modus operandi, which is crazy to me, because I am your employer.
Well, you must forget that,
I am your employer.
You must forget that. Don't forget they're working for me.
So
I forget we here sometimes. Talking to each other.
Damn it, business. So, but I just feel like there must be somebody standing guard. When my mother named me, she named me because the name is nice. But the name is Scandinavian. It means pioneer. Tyker means pioneer. The pioneers are the people who's go first.
Sure.
Them is who does draw the tree line
take the bullets
and clear the way for everybody. So say, hey, there's the way here earlier. So I don't know.
Yeah. You know your portion.
From inception.
You know your role.
She set me up. And even in naming the company Pioneer Productions too, is like, because it's Tony used to call me Pioneer.
I see.
He used to say, he asked me one time, he said, what does Tyker mean? And I told him, so every time after that, he said, Pioneer? Oh, Pioneer? Yeah. As soon as he reached, he said, go, Pioneer, good afternoon. What you doing today? Yeah, and then his brother Dennis used to call me hard name. He just go,
that's a flesh.
Hard name. And then he used to say, me and Tafar, I said, two of them. That was a problem. And he used to rest his hand on his belly.
Yeah. The real McCoy.
This one name hard and this one name is acronym. Because Tafar's name is an acronym. So,
it is?
Yeah,
it really
is.
I see.
So, he was just like something else.
It's like I remember when you said Dennis, you have to say Dennis.
Sprangalang Hall, because all they don't know people.
Just in case.
Sorry. Dennis Sprangalang Hall, who is one of the mentors of Joel and I. And yeah, boy, one of the first plays I actually wrote, one of his friends, Zling, Leslie Matthews, who taught me stage management, because we do that too.
Sure.
She encouraged me to write, and she was like, you have to write a play. You have to write a play. You have to write a play. And so I did. I wrote this play called The Lesson, which is about 2 flag women. Clearly, I love small casts.
Yeah.
They manage 15 people. So I don't know how Louis McWilliams just do it. But big up Louis, big up Ephebo, Dr. Ephebo, big up Zeno Constance. Big cast. Big up Victor Edwards, because you see them big cast I neighbor. McKelly and Taylor, he's a big cast man too. The big cast man. Right? So doesn't say, write the script. So I wrote the lesson and Sprang read it, and Sprang say, so So where the rest? Somebody else. I said,
it stopped short.
We're going. Him, no, you had to write more. But her name you ain't easy. I want to know about these two women and what going to happen. They're going in panorama. He said, he said, yeah. I'm all right. I believe you.
Yeah.
And he started mull on it, and he started call names, and he started talking about people with a wave flag and thing. And I just sit him down and I listen and I'm taking it in. And that's been my fortune my entire life, to be able to sit at the feet of greats.
The greats.
From
the
jump.
legends. Yeah, imagine that.
From jump. So that's why I say I understand my privilege, and I also understand that from the name to knowing that sometimes this road is going to be super lonely, but I'm so privileged to have the people that I have around me right now. And this season of my life, it's like, I don't take it for granted. I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful, Ashe, that all the things what I went through has brought me to this point where I'm surrounded by people who respect me, who respect my work, who when I make a creative decision, they're like, yes, we like that, let's go.
As is you say that
as is me. Yeah. And also the technicians in the space too, the man who does pull the cable, who's bring the cameras, who's bring the lights,
to make it happen.
Yeah, who's plug, the man who does plug in.
Conrad and them.
And switch on the generators. The crew, man, the men who is on crew, we have to take care of them.
Of course.
And my mother always told me, make sure you feed people.
Yeah.
Because I know when I don't eat as a monster.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a viral clip of me that comes around every year of me with a big fro throwing a man clothes over a banister called Renee Divinia Charles. And there's a line in it that she says, I ain't self-eat breakfast yet and I had to deal with you.
Yeah.
My blood sugar is low. That is a line that really came from my life.
That's real life.
That's real. That was an improv scene. And we was there and we was in Lavanti and we was making this thing and they decide we have a free day, let's make something for fun. And that is one of the things people is most common ask me. They ask me, you used to be a Gael.
Yeah.
They ask me that. And they ask me, you used to kill who throw the boy clothes over the pan.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
It's because you was hungry. You'll be trying to understand.
I didn't have breakfast. So
sugar low.
So that's why now you have to feed people. You have to take care of them.
Taking that lesson.
You have to make sure people reach home safely.
Yeah, it's important.
And you have to make sure that you left the space better than you found it.
Yeah, receive that. And you also, as you say, you have to make sure you ain't take the short. Because it's not just you taking the short.
It's everybody.
Everybody had to take the short when you take it.
Everybody. So because I understand that from all the experience that I've had working in front of the camera, on the stage, and behind the scenes, I make a holistic decision where I know everybody will benefit from it.
I appreciate that. I asked you Sprangalang question now. You say you had to do more. So you said you have something coming up in September, yes?
In September, Belmont Freetown Cultural Arts and Folk Performing Company has Cultural Explosion 5. This is the 5th year. And this year we're doing a wondrous odyssey.
Right.
We're taking folks on a journey through our catalog as well as the inspirations that have lent to Trinidad being what it is. So we're going from before enslavement to now. That's the journey that we taking with the work. So it's dancing, it's singing.
So more thing for me to be uneasy in my seat again.
No.
Oh,
this is actually a showcase for Belmont Freetown.
I see.
And so that every year they have this show, and it really is an amalgamation of all the great things that the group does.
I see.
So it's dance, it's folk dance, it's Miss Christine Tamata do a monologue again this year. Last year I do a flag woman.
Yeah, let me talk about that flag woman. I'm glad you bring me there. I'm glad you bring me there. Let me talk about that now because Tyker Phillip, I'm going to say to Franco one time.
No relation, but I mean, you never know.
She say, if you're on this journey, you have to talk to Tyker. I say, all right, cool. I say, Franco, I will get it done. So I look up Tyker. She sent me some info. And the first thing she sent me is that flag woman.
Right.
And when I see it, I say, all right, I understand why. And then when I came to Poison, I say, right, I understand why. But I feel I only understand today, and I'll continue to understand it critical. But that flag woman or something else. You on that stage with that, for people who haven't seen it, is maybe you should talk about it better than me. But what I saw was you explaining to people what a flag woman is too. And you know what kept catching me in the video is, I mean, the flag was a beautiful thing, having it flowing that way. I was like, this woman been doing this.
Yeah.
And then you say, you had to show the people the logo. And I'm in marketing. So I say, I do marketing for a living. I said, just want to understand. What was that? What was it exactly?
So that's on the same thing that Sprang was reading.
Right.
That's from 2010. And took pieces of it, because it's a two-hander, and formed it into this monologue.
Right.
So I was playing the lead, Lorna.
Right.
And I've always been fascinated with the flagman and flagwoman. Like, as a child sitting down in All-Star Spaniard on a school night, with my mom went to take pictures, falling in love with the flagwoman.
Right.
Being like, wait, this is a real vibe. And then asking questions again, and talking and engaging in community, and meeting the flagman from Starliff. And yeah. I write this piece. And I write this piece with all these stories put together, and performing Lorna was very physically challenging, but last year was the most in my body I've felt in a very long time, because I was rehearsing with Belmont all the time, rehearsing with BFD every week, go in. But to take all these experiences and all the knowledge from all these pieces that I would have gotten it, and to put it together, and to be like, all they come in the Queen's Hall, all they bring no flag to rehearse. How you going to learn how to wave flag?
Right.
All right, okay, well, you go bring your flag tomorrow, but before, we have to learn. This is the movement: swoop, dive, move, dance. This is the movement, right? This is how you hold the flag. You cannot hold it willy-willy, vai. You have to hold it properly. Because when the breeze take you on the Savannah stage, you can fall off. That's a real talk. If you know what you're doing, the breeze will pick you up and carry you. You have to know, you have to mind your business.
Got you.
It's not a whiner girl thing. This is not a star girl thing. She is originally the flagwoman artist. The Jamette was in the barricade, who know where to pass, how to pass, when to pass, when not to go. When you go to war, the men in the front is the flag bearers. They have this sigil. You have to see if this is friendly fire or if this is the enemy. You have to hold your flag up. You cannot drag the flag. You have to make sure we know what bandit is coming down the road. Like you sing about it, invaders coming down, right? Tokyo coming down the next time. How we know is that? Because the flag woman in front, she waving, she thinks, you know what band is what. And I think, in doing the piece and sharing, and I think people thought I really is a
well, you have
it's a real story.
So wait. What you're telling me is that wasn't actually, you was just showing people what to do. That's what that was, or really?
Yeah.
Let me finish. I feel finished.
It's a performance. It is a character. It is the script is written. It's a play.
Right.
But this is really. It really is Lorna teaching Gertie, which is the second character, how to wave the flag. But it's just me at BFT doing drama right now. So I was like, Miss Christine was like, she wants a monologue, and I turned dialogue into monologue. And so my audience now is who I'm teaching.
I am with you.
That is how we get that clip, which have 30-something thousand views or something like that.
How is it go? Swoop. It's not swoop, dance, wave, and push. That's why I remember. How close am I?
Swoop, dive, move, and dance.
All right, got you.
Yeah. Because you gotta bring it from here. Swoop. So swoop, dive, and then you move it this way, and then you dance. That's your movement. That's your movement. Because you're not just here, just moving. No, you have to move.
Yeah, but I think so. If they Lego me with that flag on the stage, well, hell break loose on it. Be sure to take me.
Yeah, and that's also part of the job too, which is the cultural heritage.
True.
Our intangible cultural heritage is very important for us to document, for us to hold on to. Because, between the Chinese and whoever else, they're going to take it and call it their own.
Of course.
They did the same thing with the pan.
Yes.
So why would they do it with anything else? So, it is a joy to be able to create and to make things that I feel very passionate about. And Lorna is just one drop poison is just one drop. Like, it have plenty things in the audition.
I'm sure. Well, you tell me. You start by telling me a real thing on the shelf.
Yeah,
so.
it have thing on the shelf. It have thing on the shelf. It have things that haven't come yet. It have stuff that leave poison and start to work on. Or there's notebooks that I have thing. I'm traveling in the next few weeks, and it's like, I have to decide which notebook to take.
I'm sure.
Am I taking a fresh notebook? Am I taking one that have things in it already? Because I can't go too overweight.
Well, you come here with a notebook too. So I'm interested in finding out. But thanks a million. I appreciate you coming. I appreciate the fact that you're taking the angle that you take.
Yeah.
I think it's important, that Tyker and that pioneer name, you're living up to it. And so, I mean, I guess, as you say, you're born doing it.
Yeah.
You're born taking that lead. So continue to do it. And again, this space is open. Anytime.
I appreciate that.
Whatever you have going on, I want to learn more about it and see more of it. I'm going to be in more uncomfortable seats, I'm sure, in things that you're doing. But I feel it's important for the society. We have to feel a little more uncomfortable with some of these topics.
Yeah, because when you feel uncomfortable, you make change. Eh?
You go work through it. So I appreciate you, Conrad. Ready to pause. I just think Conrad stop pressing it. Hit the stop button on the camera. I appreciate it.